Yes, people. Welcome to the player rating show. Man United 1, Everton 0 at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. This is going to be an interesting player ratings, actually, because it's going to be defence heavy. But the attackers did pull out a nice sequence of play for the goal. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is an interesting player ratings. Senny Lamans. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I think he's my man of the match, you know. I think he's my man of the match. And listen, I get that it's the answer to that is Sesko is the super sub. He gets all the plaudits. But I'm just going to do it a bit differently to give this guy his flowers. Not only do I think he's the man of the match, I also think he's our best signing this season. I think he's been our most important signing this season. This summer, sorry. He has been incredible. And it's not like he made a save he wasn't entitled to make. Because I do think when you talk about Sonny Lamans, you have to keep it in check. Me and Owen were talking about this. And this is why, like, the people who scouted him and said we have to go and get this guy, they deserve their credit. Because there's one thing just being better than Onana. And then there's being just completely very competent at what you do. And Edwin van der Sar is in that studio tonight, waxing lyrical about him. Said it reminds him of himself. How about that for a compliment? The great Edwin van der Sar is saying, this kid reminds me of me. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected, he's diligent. He hasn't got main character syndrome. I've said it bare times, bro. This guy looks like he uses unscented shower gel, bro. He looks like, I just want to be clean. I don't need all the crazy oud smelling things and that. Just make sure I'm clean. I don't care about people smelling me going past. That's honestly, bro. And I actually mean that with respect. Like, I'm not even trying to clown. This is the kid's character that I love. He faced 10, 11 corners from the shithousery of Everton. Came out, punched half of them, claimed a couple more, claimed crosses from open play, made good saves. Tipped Michael Keane's shot over the bar. Held on to that Armstrong kid's shot. Make sure it didn't spill out, bounce off him, ricochet. Held on to James Garner's free kick. Luke Shaw was clapping him. It's exactly what we want. It's exactly what we bought him for. But it's more than just being better than Onana. It's more than that. I think this guy's got a really, really high ceiling. And he's baby Courtois. He's baby Courtois, bro. Now, don't get me wrong. He's got a long way to go before he gets to that level, but he's doing just fine. I'm actually going to give him a 9, bro. I'm actually going to give him a 9. I've just spent three and a half minutes here talking on Lamans. I haven't even started anyone else yet. But yeah, I'm giving him a 9. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Right back, Diogo Dalot. Solid game, man. I defended really well. As an attacking force, we weren't really there. We weren't really at the races for large parts. But I think Dalot done his job. I think he was good on the ball. I think he was strong. I think he was good in the tackle. I liked his performance, man. I'm going to give Dalot a 7. I'm going to big up all the defenders today. I'm going to give Dalot a 7. I think he was good today. Lenny Yoro next to him came in for the injured Leacher. Not an easy task. Not an easy task at all. Come off the bench in the last game against West Ham and played really well and saved us, kept us in the game. Today he's part of a back four that kept a clean sheet. He was physical. You know, he was getting manhandled by, again, the shithouse Tarkowski, throwing him in the net. Ref even booked him for that, which was just ridiculous. Booked Lenny Yoro for getting flipping manhandled and grabbed up and thrown in the net, which was just stupid. Didn't make any sense to me. But he stood up and was counted for. He had a few nervy touches in the first half, but he grew into the game. And didn't do anything silly and defended well. I'm going to give Lenny Yoro a 7 as well. I think he was very good. Harry Maguire, my other second man of the match. I'm giving Harry Maguire a 9 as well. It should really be an 8, but I'm going to up it to a 9. Colossal in there. You know, when you've got shithouses like Tarkowski and Branthwaite and Keane and Tieno Barry and then Beto coming on, you know what they're going to be like. You know what Everton going to be on. There was loads of balls to deal with. And Harry Maguire's box defending was excellent today. Snuffing out danger at his front post. He stepped out with the ball to try and make things happen because our midfielders weren't doing it. Kobe and Casemiro weren't great today. I'll get to them in a bit. Bruno was shocking today. And he's replacing Lisandro Martinez. And that's not an easy fate. And listen, one thing Maguire is good at is stepping out with the ball. He was afforded time and space to do it, but he was aggressive with it as well and tried to force the issue. We just didn't really get going as an attacking unit, but it wasn't for the want of him trying. And like I said, defensively, you need people like him. He's so dominant in the air, so physical, and he was really good tonight. I thought he was excellent. So yeah, big up Harry Maguire. I'm giving him a 9, Bray. I don't care. Left back Luke Shaw, little bit more coy. Do you know what? I'll big up Luke Shaw because in the first half and a little bit of the second half, I thought that Iliman and Dyer was going to start being in the mood and taking Shaw for a ride. He had a couple of little fouls on him, more so probably because he didn't want to get into a position where he was stranded 1v1 with him. So maybe that, but I'd give Luke Shaw a 6. I think he was okay today. He was competent. Like I said, I worried for him, Jeff. The first couple of fouls that he made in Dyer, I thought, here we go. But it didn't really materialise into anything other than that. So, yeah, I'll give him a safe 6. Now it gets interesting. Kobbie Mainoo today. Not Kobbie's best game. Didn't really get on the ball as much as I wanted him to. I'd give him a 6. I think he was okay. He didn't have a stinker by any stretch of the imagination. Actually put in a really good cross that caused a little bit of confusion for Tarkowski, and then the ball fell to Mbeumo, and he skied it. But Kobbie was okay. He was okay. He wasn't as good as the other games he's been playing, but altogether we just didn't really have that control, that intensity, and we weren't passing through the lines. There wasn't committing enough men forward. It wasn't all Kobbie's fault, but I just feel like it wasn't his best game, but it certainly wasn't his worst. I'll give him a 6. Casemiro tonight wasn't great as well. I think Kobbie played slightly better than him, so I've probably got to give Cas a 5 if I'm honest. Is that a bit harsh? Because he was average. Casemiro was average, but I think Kobbie played ever so slightly better than him, putting some balls in the box, etc. Did I miss anything from Casemiro? Did win a couple of fouls. Couple of switches of play. I'll keep it fair because we did win. I ain't trying to, I'll keep it fair. It could be a 5, but I'll give him a 6. I'll give Uncle Cass a 6. Right wing, Ahmad, disappointing from him. I'd give him a 5. Didn't see anything. He actually, to be fair, he did have the shot where he nearly scored, cleared off the line in the first couple of minutes. But I'm going to give him a 6 as well. I'll give him a standard 6. He wasn't good though, was he? He wasn't good for large parts. And he had no complaints at coming off. And you know what? It weren't even just an Ahmad thing. Any one of them front forward players, that front four, could have come off. Any one of them. Could have been Cunha, could have been Mbeumo, could have been Ahmad, which it was. And it could have been Bruno. They were all that bad for large parts. Yeah, I'm going to give Ahmad a 5. I am, because I'm going to be honest, we weren't great. We weren't great attacking wise. Left mid, Cunha. Now, he was playing poorly as well. People in the chat saying take him off. He's not playing well. He's this, he's that. But he plays a fantastic. What a ball he's played in transition to Mbeumo. And that's what you paid a big buck for. And then he's had the shithousery stuff at the end. Do you know what I mean? So that's what you pay the money for, innit? Really, that's what you pay. You pay the money for the difference makers, and he made the difference. So really, his overall game was poor. It was a 5, but that moment probably brings it to a 7, if I'm honest. Because if he doesn't play that ball, if you have a hand in the goal, even if you play bad, it elevates your level, and that was the decisive moment that helped us win the game. So I'm going to give him a 7 just for that input alone. I'm not dismissing the rest of the game. Like I said, he played poorly. But the pass is an excellent pass for Mbeumo. And the shithousery at the end. I really like that on James Garner and against Tarkowski because it wound him up. So I'm going to give him a 7. Mbeumo, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. Again, wasn't his best game. For large parts, he probably played a 5 as well, just like the rest of them. But he got another assist. Got an assist in the last game for Benjamin Sesko, which was an amazing goal. And this one, he puts the right amount of weight on the ball for Benjamin Sesko to be able to stroke it into the corner. And that looks easy, but it's easy to be frantic and miscontrol the ball and take too long and not release it in time. And he's on his bike. He's always willing. He's always a willing runner. Always, always, always. Gets the ball under control, waits for the right moment, gives it to Sesko, goal. So he's going to get a 7 for that. Bruno Fernandes, awful tonight. Awful. His worst game this season. I barely saw him make a pass, complete a pass. He really, really was bad. He was. I can't stand up for him tonight. He was bad. He had a bad game. It happens. I'll give him a 4, and that's being generous. That is my positive agenda of Bruno tax. Because if somebody said that Bruno played a 2 tonight, or a 0 or a 1, I wouldn't argue with them. I wouldn't argue with them at all. So I give him a 4. He was not good. He kept losing the ball, losing his head as well. It was one of those real bad ones for Bruno. Hopefully he can shake that off immediately, because he's been in the form of his life recently. But he was really poor tonight. Wasn't great against West Ham as well. So that's 2 in a row. I need a reaction from my captain. I need a reaction from my guy. Always back him to do it. Always back him to get back to winning. Well, we won, but for him to get back to playing better and having the difference, making the difference, which I'm going to back him to do that against Crystal Palace. But tonight, yeah, he was a 4. And then there's Benjamin Sesko. Ole Gunnar Sesko, bro. 9. Technically the man of the match because he scored the decisive goal, but I've been through all the reasons why. Just big him up. I've waxed lyrical about him on my cam as well, my fan cam. Like he's got what, 6 and 7. Do you know what I'm saying? He's scoring real good goals as well, man. He's scoring real good goals. He really is. I love the way he moves. I mean, when I watch the goal back, I think it's Tarkowski. He just puts the burners on and just makes sure he gets there. He knows there's an opportunity for him there, for Mbeumo can find him, and he just puts the burners on. Great finish. Amazing finish against West Ham. The 2 goals he scored against Burnley were excellent finishes as well. He's really coming into his own. And any comparisons to Gyökeres, they're just chalk and cheese, them two. Gyökeres had a field day yesterday against Spurs because Spurs are shit, but he still looks clunky. Sesko's got something. He is a really good player. And I really like him. So big up to him. And Mazraoui came on, did what he needs to do, give him a 6. Who else came on? Is that it? Aiden Heaven came on. Yeah, could barely give him a mark because I don't even think he touched the ball. But big up to him. Michael Carrick, large parts of the performance weren't good enough. They weren't. Tactically, we weren't there. The spark that was missing against West Ham wasn't there. But he made the right substitution early doors. And people want to try and say that, you know, he ain't got nothing and this is why Carrick's rubbish and this, that and the other. The man's won 5 and drawn 1. Do you know what I'm saying? In his first 6 games. You can't ask for more than that. He's being consistent and he's not afraid to make the changes. Wasn't pretty football at all. But he deserves credit. I'm gonna give Carrick. I'm gonna give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. It does feel a bit high because of how badly we played for the whole game. But the same way how the guys that were playing at a 5, I boosted them up to a 7 because they had input. It's the same with the manager. You can't say the manager hasn't had no input. So I'm going to give him that because his performance at how we were playing was probably about a 5. It was tepid. It was boring. It was slow. It was lethargic. There was no intensity. We came out in the second half after the team talk, not much better. But the big change when he saw enough after 56 minutes, took off Ahmad, put on Sesko, he scores again, kept Mbeumo on, he gets an assist, kept Cunha on, he gets the pre-assist. So the players he kept on the pitch delivered, you know, and the big move he made to bring on Sesko worked again. So he deserves credit for that. So yeah, let me know what you guys are saying. Smash a like on the video. I'm over the moon with that win. We needed it. I'm going to sleep good. I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm out of here. Peace.